High-quality new books. Daily check.in starting today, everyone needs to make countless choices in their lifetime, and when Bai Huang inexplicably obtained the infinite choice system, just as the game began, he had an additional beautiful fiancée A.E. like a fairy, light-hearted daily life, humorous novels, keywords of the novel. Urban Unlimited Choice System with no pop-ups, Urban Unlimited Choice System TXT Complete Collection Download, Urban Unlimited Choice System Latest Chapter Reading. Chapter 1. Infinite Choice System. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 1 Infinite Choice System. Look, is that kid crazy? A house is only selling for 100,000 yuan. Isn't it a mental illness? Not only did it sell for only 100,000 yuan, but it also laughed there. I really need to go to a mental hospital and take a good look. I just looked at the geographical location of his house. Although it's remote, how can it be sold for 1 million or so? There are really all kinds of strange things in this world. Hey, if I had such a son, I would have been so angry a long time ago. In the real estate agency exchange, a group of aunties were whispering, each with a look of disdain on their faces. The reason for this situation is that they saw a young man rushing in to sell a house in a hurry. Of course, this is an exchange, only those who buy and sell houses will appear here, but the key is that some people are ecstatic and selling houses at jump prices. What is it if it's not a brain problem? For the comments of the group of aunties next to him, Bai Huang was not deaf, of course he could hear them clearly. But how would they know the reason behind this? This matter starts from last night when Bai Huang was buying ice cream by the roadside. Suddenly, a very ethereal voice rang in his mind, claiming to be an infinite choice system. The system passed 2 options to Bai Huang. The first option was to add mustard to the ice cream, and the reward was to return 100 times the ice cream money. The second option is to add blueberries to the ice cream as a reward for a 1000% increase in aura that night. At that time, Bai Huang only thought that he had hallucinations while working part-time and did not pay attention. He added blueberries according to his original taste preferences. On that night, no matter where Bai Huang went, he would instinctively make people avoid him and show a sense of fear, as if he had some viral pathogen on him. What's even more exaggerated is that an underground boss named Crow Brother actually took the initiative to nod and bow on the roadside when he saw Bai Huang last night, looking like a dog leg. He really looked at Bai Huang in confusion. And while taking a nap at noon today, the system gave Bai Huang a new choice. Option 1 is to have Bai Huang sell the house for less than 1/10 of the market price, with the reward of being able to stay in an ultra-luxury villa on the same day and having unexpected mysterious surprises. Option 2 is for Bai Huang not to sell the house, with a reward of a car accident on the same day and a free gift of billions of ghost coins. So, can this Nima, Bai Arai, not rush to the exchange to sell his house? Sir, are you sure you want to sell the house under your name for 100,000 yuan? Once it is signed, it cannot be changed. Please consider carefully. The front desk lady looked surprised, as she had never encountered such a strange thing before. Who would sell a house for 100,000 yuan? Don't worry, sell as you please. Without any ink, Bai Huang signed the contract directly. Wait a bit for the rest, let's survive first before we talk. 10 minutes later, the handover was completed, and Bai Huang sold his house for 100,000 yuan. Stepping out of the housing exchange, a ray of sunlight swept over Bai Huang's slightly smiling face. Finally, he sold his house. This is my first time selling a house, I really don't have much experience. I was a little nervous just now. After thinking about it, the system said that as long as the house is sold, he can move into a super luxury villa today. I don't know how it will be, but I don't know what kind of villa thief will come out later. Furthermore, what made Bai Huang a little concerned was that he did not know what the mysterious surprise referred to in the system was, and there was no clue to speculate on. I took out my phone and checked the time. It was almost 2 o'clock now, and class would start in about 20 minutes. Therefore, Bai Huang took a bus on the roadside to avoid being late. Bai Huang is currently a student at Wentian High School. He is in his third year of high school and will be taking the entrance exam for a few more months. However, based on Bai Huang's current grades, he is basically unable to get into any good universities. Since high school, in order to make a living, Bai Huang has spent most of his time doing part-time jobs. Otherwise, he would have starved to death and would not be able to balance his studies. Yes, Bai Huang is the only one in his family, and there is no one else. Sometimes Bai Huang would also lament the unfairness of heaven. Reality is not a novel, and he is not the protagonist in the novel. There is no logic of parents offering sacrifices to heaven with boundless power, but he is just an orphan. Why? This kind of question ultimately has no answer. After a period of time, caught at the end of the late hour, Bai Huang smoothly entered Wentian High School. Wentian High School ranks first in the province, especially with a high reputation in the local area. Many parents are eager to send their children inside. Meanwhile, some younger students are also pushing their heads to get into Wentian High School. It is worth mentioning that the fame of Wentian High School has been rapidly increasing in recent years, and the most fundamental reason for this is the existence of two school flower goddesses. One of them knows how to play the piano, chess, calligraphy, and painting, is proficient in various mainstream musical instruments, and is a truly talented woman. Not only has he won provincial music awards, but he has also won national music awards. Despite his outstanding appearance, his talent is also incredibly abundant, making him an enviable existence. The other one is proficient in knowledge, with rare cultural accomplishments from ancient and modern times. They have received many invitations to join top literary schools, but they are not very interested. At the same time, this second school flower goddess is also the most controversial person, because no one in the school has heard her speak, and many people are even asking whether she is mute, but this is just a minor issue because her beauty is enough to crush all living beings in the world. I don't quite understand the rest of Bai Huang. He doesn't have time to pay attention to these gossip news, and he hasn't even seen the two school flower goddesses. Not to mention anything else, he is definitely the only one in the school on this point. Quickly, Bai Huang walked into his class and prepared to sit in the center. Yo, isn't this Bai Huang? You're not going to work part-time again, are you? You've been working so hard at a young age. Hey, as someone who blows the air conditioning and drinks cold drinks at home every day, I really admire your diligence. A man wearing glasses smiled. The man with glasses is named Lu Lang, and his family is very wealthy. He is a true second-generation ancestor and likes to harm others verbally, especially in terms of family background. Ignoring it, Bai Huang continued to walk. Ding! Unlimited selection system triggered. Choose one, walk over and beat Lu Lang in front of everyone. Reward. A fairy bean that can instantly restore stamina. Option 2, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth, verbally infuriating Lu Lang and preventing him from taking action against him out of anger. He can only keep going. Reward. Death gaze, one glance can make people tremble with fear. Before Bai Huang's eyes, a virtual screen appeared that only he could see. P.S. New book release, seeking recommended votes. Seeking full star praise. End of this chapter. Chapter 2. Good Hi-Oh. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 2. Good Hi-Oh. When faced with a choice, Bai Huang heard a sound of footsteps coming from outside the hallway, a sound that could only be made with high heels. Immediately, Bai Huang stopped his original move of walking to his seat and then stood in front of Lu Lang. Seeing this, Lu Lang showed a disdainful face and said, "Why, do you want to talk back? Think it over carefully. If you, a guy with no power, or background, dare to challenge me, then you will have good fruit to eat." Since entering Wentian High School, Lu Lang has mocked countless people, but he has never been physically attacked. For nothing else, it's because his family has power and influence. If Lu Lang had no background, not to mention the distance, just the people in the class would be enough to drown Lu Lang in one gulp of saliva. Well, just a glance around reveals that everyone in the class is looking at Lu Lang with anger, but unfortunately, they are helpless. I really can't provoke Lu Lang's family background. With a smile on his face, Bai Huang squinted his eyes and continued, "Your mother is such a silly person." Suddenly, the class fell silent. "Oh my God, what's the situation?" Bai Huang spoke up and scolded Lu Lang. "You should know that the person who is bullied the most by Lu Lang in the class is Bai Huang, and at the same time, Bai Huang is also the most tolerant of injustice in the class. He used to not cause trouble before, how did he suddenly change a person? More importantly, let's not say that Lu Lang doesn't allow others to talk back. The most unbearable thing for Lu Lang is that someone scolds his mother. Lu Lang's conduct today is all spoiled by his mother. His mother treats him best. Everyone is in the same class, Bai Huang couldn't have been unaware of this. You owe me a beating." With his veins bulging, Lu Lang clenched his fists and immediately stood up, aiming at Bai Huang and beckoning him directly. The appearance of this scene frightened all the girls in the class, afraid of seeing any bad pictures. "Stop it." At this moment, a burst of anger erupted from the classroom entrance. At first glance, the person standing at the door of the classroom was like the homeroom teacher Li Yu. Li Yu is 26 years old this year. Not long after graduating from graduate school, she has a cold appearance and a dark personality. As soon as she arrived, she suppressed everyone in her class. Due to her fierce and decisive personality, she was privately referred to as the extermination teacher by her students. However, unlike her real-life style, her chat app name appears very cute and soft. Named, Gunera, the god of darkness. Of course, this is just a casual joke. Li Yu's teaching quality goes without saying. While everyone respects Li Yu, they also quite like him. "Lu Lang. What do you want to do?" Walking into the classroom, Li Yu glared angrily. This scared Lu Lang into a panic. He was not afraid of anything at school, just afraid of Li Yu, the extinct nun. Dealing with students was really cruel. "Teacher, it was Bai Huang who started scolding my mother first, that's why I took action against him," Lu Lang quickly explained. Upon hearing this, Li Yu's gaze shifted to Bai Huang on the side, seemingly wanting to know the answer from his expression. "Teacher, I haven't scolded Lu Lang before. You should have seen Lu Lang's violent behavior just now. In broad daylight, I would be bullied at school. Are there any school rules or laws?" Bai Huang's face was very innocent, and he even sobbed symbolically to show that he was really aggrieved. "Teacher, I can prove that Bai Huang has never cursed anyone," a girl raised her hand and spoke. "Teacher, I can also testify that Bai Huang really didn't curse." "Yeah, teacher, you know, Bai Huang has always been stable in our class. How could he possibly scold Lu Lang?" "Teacher Mingjian, don't underestimate a good person." Gradually, all the classmates in the class were speaking up for Bai Huang. With such a good opportunity, they naturally couldn't stand on Lu Lang's side, just to help Bai Huang straighten out Lu Lang, the second-generation ancestor. The uncontrollable scene made Lu Lang blush with anger. "Teacher, did you hear that? Everyone can testify for me. If you don't handle Lu Lang properly, I'm afraid I won't dare to come to school again. Do you know how much campus bullying can harm people's minds? Oh my God, I'm too difficult." Bai Huang mourns. "Bai Huang. If you keep talking nonsense, I will definitely beat you up." At this moment, Lu Lang was really angry. He felt like a fool, being played around by Bai Huang. "Teacher, look, even Lu Lang said in front of you that he was going to beat me up, what a big show." Bai Huang said helplessly. As soon as he heard what Bai Huang said, Lu Lang immediately realized his slip of the tongue and said, "No, no, no, teacher. Listen to my explanation, things are really not right. Shut up. Li Yu said coldly. Not to mention, the second-generation ancestor Lu Lang was so drunk by Li Yu that he dared not speak and became a muggle. Reaching out and patting Bai Huang's shoulder, Li Yu solemnly promised with a smile, "Don't worry, Bai Huang. The teacher will definitely handle this matter seriously. The teacher knows that you are always well behaved and will definitely not curse. Even if you curse for no reason, it cannot be for no reason. The teacher will give you a perfect result." "Thank you, teacher." Bai Huang replied with a smile. Then, when his gaze shifted to Lu Lang, Li Yu's expression immediately cooled down. "Follow me to the teaching office. I want to talk to your family well." So, Lu Lang lowered his head and followed Li Yu out of the classroom, and the original Chinese class was temporarily changed to a self-study class. Before leaving, Bai Huang saw the look in his eyes as he turned back and handed it over from Lu Lang, and his eyes turned red with anger. Lu Lang, the second-generation ancestor of Class 11 in high school, has received an unprecedented atmosphere. Ding! Congratulations to the host for completing Option 2 and receiving the reward. Death Stare. As the system prompted the sound, Bai Huang's mind suddenly fused with some information, which was a specific introduction to Death Gaze. Oh, oh. In the class, there was a burst of excited cheers. "Big guy, can you not be happy? After all this time, I finally have the opportunity to cure Lu Lang, the second-generation ancestor. It feels really exhilarating. Bai Huang, you're a man who dares to provoke even Lu Lang. If my wall doesn't accept it, I'll obey you. There's no need to say, from now on, Bai Huang will be the head of the class. He said to go west, so I will definitely go east. Someone, take my Qinglong Yenhua blade and peel an apple for Brother Huang to eat. Haha, we have to set off fireworks tonight to celebrate. This semester is the happiest day for this, Jiao." The cheers and chatter in the class were not surprising to Bai Huang at all. Lu Lang had bullied too many people before. As for Bai Huang himself, it was also very satisfying. He was hurt so many times by Lu Lang, and today he finally turned the tables. It's great. For example, when a group of hungry and thirsty readers suddenly saw an update to their favorite eunuch novel one day, it felt like tears were streaming down their eyes. How to say it? 3 words. Good high. End of this chapter. Chapter 3. Gambling. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 3 Gambling. Until the end of a self-study class, Lu Lang returned to the classroom alone from the teaching office. Everyone can see that Lu Lang was trained very badly, otherwise he wouldn't have stretched his face and his expression would have been extremely stiff. Angry, Lu Lang sat in his seat, clenching his fists with both hands. "I was not only scolded by the class teacher when I was taken to the teaching office this time, but also repeatedly scolded by my family over the phone." His mother was fine. She had been protecting herself, but his father's violent temper made him suspect life, and even his ancestors of the 18th generation were scolded all the time. He said that if he continues to behave recklessly, he will not recognize him as his son in the future. The reason for everything to happen is all due to this bastard Bai Huang. After taking a few breaths, Lu Lang slowly stood up and walked towards the location where Bai Huang was. Hello, Lu Lang, what do you want? This is a school, and you don't want to be taken to the teaching office by the teacher, do you? That's right, if you dare to mess with Bai Huang, we'll go tell the teacher immediately. Don't be impulsive, impulsiveness is the devil. Seeing Lu Lang's direction, other classmates in the class quickly spoke up to help, unable to watch Bai Huang be retaliated against. Ignoring the warnings from the others in the class, Lu Lang swaggered and sat on the desk in front of Bai Huang. There are 2 more classes next, one is the comprehensive examination of humanities, and the other is the teacher's grading. I want to bet with you that if your score is higher than mine, I will call you Bai Huang as my father in the hallway, Lu Lang said playfully. Being warned by his family, Lu Lang naturally wouldn't be foolish enough to continue causing trouble until the storm subsided. Since that's the case, then settle accounts with Bai Huang in a peaceful way. What if my score is lower than yours? Bai Huang asked calmly. Then you call me Lu Lang is your father, in the hallway. Lu Lang exclaimed excitedly. When Lu Lang thought of the scene of Bai Huang calling him his father outside, he felt a lot of pain all over, and there was nothing more comfortable than this. This bet was made, and before Bai Huang could agree or disagree, the other classmates in the class immediately expressed dissatisfaction. Lu Lang, you know that Bai Huang's comprehensive score in the humanities is not good, aren't you deliberately picking on a weak persimmon? It's a bit shameless, isn't it? There's no such a completely advantageous gambling agreement for oneself. Bai Huang, please don't agree to him and let him have fun on his own. You have the courage to compare your comprehensive scores in humanities with me, let's see how you can beat me. Multiple classmates speak. Hey, are you talking too much? Immediately, Lu Lang looked at them with a cold face. This immediately made those classmates hesitant to continue talking. After all, they couldn't really make Lu Lang angry, it was almost enough. Ding! Unlimited selection system triggered. Choose one, reject Lu Lang's bet, and leisurely pass the last two classes. Reward. 1 hammer, option 2, accept Lu Lang's gambling agreement. In short, if you don't agree, you'll do it. Reward. Never forget, okay, I agreed. After making the choice, Bai Huang responded. Ding. Congratulations to the host for completing option 2 and receiving the reward. Never forget. When Bai Huang's decision was made, it could be said that it made other classmates in the class worried. Bai Huang insisted on hitting the gun. If you lose and call your dad, it will be known to the whole school, and you will lose face to death. Pop 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 pop, clapping his palms, Lu Lang was overjoyed. Alright, you have the guts. After the grades come out, you can wait to call dad, ha ha ha. While laughing, Lu Lang returned to his seat. During the remaining break time in the classroom, Bai Huang took out books related to humanities, and the upcoming exam only took 3 key points. For humanities, just remember well. Seeing Bai Huang's last-minute act of cramming, the other classmates could only silently lament. Bai Huang really shouldn't agree. He doesn't have enough time to review for a few days, let alone less than 10 minutes between classes. After a short period of time, the class bell rang and the teacher in charge of the humanities exam walked into the classroom. Well, the invigilator is still the homeroom teacher Li Yu, who is the god of darkness in Gun Era. The exam is scheduled for 1 class, during which everyone is requested to remain quiet. If anyone dares to cheat, I will invite them to the teaching office for tea. Li Yu spoke solemnly. Upon hearing the 3 words, teaching office, Lu Lang was immediately struck with a shock, but he has not yet emerged from his psychological shadow. Quickly, Li Yu distributed the liberal arts exam papers to everyone in the class, and then sat on the podium, staring at the exam situation of everyone in the audience. Everyone knows that in the exam supervised by Li Yu, the probability of successful cheating is directly 0, and no one dares to cheat in front of Li Yu. It is precisely because of this that Lu Lang deliberately initiated a gambling agreement with Bai Huang, in order to prevent Bai Huang from having any chance of cheating. He won the exam this time, and Bai Huang's father also won. Jesus couldn't stop him, he said it. Time passed quickly, and many people didn't finish their papers. The bell for the end of class rang like death knocking on the door. Alright, it's time. Everyone should sit still and wait for the teacher to finish collecting the papers before they can move freely. Li Yu stood up and walked off the stage. Collecting the test papers in order of their seats, Li Yu walked down quickly all the way. However, when Bai Huang arrived at his position, he stopped his pace for no reason. From Li Yu's expression, it was easy to see a look of surprise, as if he had seen some unbelievable scene. But it was only a brief pause, and after regaining consciousness, he began to collect other people's papers. After collecting the test papers, Li Yu stood on the podium and said sternly, "The grades will be announced before school ends. When I am not in the next class, all students should study conscientiously and not make any noise." After speaking, Li Yu left the classroom. After Li Yu left, Lu Lang turned to look at Bai Huang and said, "Good son, are you ready to call Dad? I can't wait anymore." Ignoring Lu Lang's provocation, Bai Huang lay on the table, intending to squint for a while. He didn't sleep well at noon, and now he happens to have the opportunity to make up for it. The other classmates in the class gather together to discuss and see where they made mistakes during the exam, and then feel various regrets and remorse. This is the norm after the exam. 10 minutes before school ended, Li Yu, who had finished revising his exam papers in the office, returned to the classroom. However, for some reason, Li Yu, standing on the podium, appeared extremely serious, to the point where all the students in the class were worried, thinking that the overall grades in the class were not very good, right? Pushi. At the next moment, Li Yu, who deliberately pretended to be serious, broke through and couldn't help but laugh. "Ladies and gentlemen, the overall grade in this class is very good, especially one student who raised the average score of this overall grade with just one person's score." Li Yu's face was full of joy, and his tone was unquestionable. End of this chapter. Chapter 4. Class First. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 4 Class First. Upon hearing what the homeroom teacher said, everyone was surprised who that person was. Many people know it's not themselves. After all, taking advantage of the previous gap, they have estimated the approximate score. On the other hand, Lu Lang's demeanor is very obvious. Isn't that right? You know, he had put in a lot of effort before in order to do well in this exam and get a reward at home. Moreover, in previous tests, Lu Lang's score has never exceeded 60 points. As long as he exceeds 100 points this time, it greatly increases the average comprehensive score in the class. So, the key figure that the homeroom teacher spoke about is undoubtedly Lu Lang. He had already imagined the surprised expression on his face as everyone gazed at him later, raising the average score of the overall grade in the class. Everyone should be grateful to him. The total score of this liberal arts comprehensive exam is 150 points. The grades of each student will be announced in sequence below. Tang vinegar, 120 points. Milk, 120 cents. Gypsum, 120 points. The official roast that the three above could not be copied. Yusuji Hanyu flowing clothes, 140 points. Lu Lang, 110 points. Li Yu paused for a moment when he read Lu Lang's name. It has to be said that Lu Lang did very well in the exam this time, almost doubling his previous score and contributing to the average score of the class's overall score. Now, seeing Li Yu's pause, Lu Lang has sat up straight, silently waiting for praise from the teacher and admiration from the whole class. However, what gradually froze Lu Lang's face was that Li Yu only paused for a moment before continuing to read the grades of his other classmates. There's no intention of praising him at all. Stupid. Completely confused. Why is Li Yu so stingy in praising himself, even though he is clearly the focal point of Li Yu's words? Is it just because he has been to the teaching office once? Unfair, this kind of treatment with colored glasses is unfair. After a while, Li Yu said, "The last thing to announce is the first place in the class's liberal arts comprehensive exam. Bai Huang. 140.5 points, everyone applauds as encouragement." Pop pop pop. Suddenly, the applause in the class was thunderous, and many people were happy for Bai Huang. Originally, Bai Huang's grades had always been at the middle and lower levels, but this time it has raised the average score of the class's overall grades, which is worth everyone's happiness. Walking down the stage, Li Yu personally handed the test paper to Bai Huang. In fact, there was one thing that puzzled Li Yu when revising the exam paper, which was that Bai Huang didn't write the last question, otherwise he would have had the opportunity to score full marks. "Congratulations, Bai Huang," Li Yu said with admiration. "As a teacher, I am very pleased that my students have finally become more and more successful." "Thank you," Bai Huang responded politely. As a party involved, Bai Huang naturally knew that he had not written the last question on his exam paper. That was intentional by him, otherwise suddenly he would have gone from being a poor student to a top student with full marks, even if he had to be called to the office to take the exam again. It's good to just point it out, too much exposure is not a good thing. Why is this happening? Why is this happening? Lu Lang, who roared inwardly and was emotionally enraged, was truly dissatisfied. The person who enjoys everyone's congratulations should be Lu Langkai. Why does all the focus gather on useless people like Bai Huang? Is God blind or not? No one can understand how angry Lu Lang is. In short, this is the most emotional breakdown of his life. Not long after, the school bell rang. However, except for the homeroom teacher Li Yu who left first, no one in the class left. Why? Because everyone wants to witness Lu Lang fulfill his gambling contract with their own eyes. But Lu Lang seemed to have forgotten everything, holding on to something and preparing to leave. "Hey, willing to gamble and accept defeat, your young master Lu won't be so untrustworthy, will he?" The person who spoke was Bai Huang. Upon hearing this, Lu Lang looked disdainful and said, "What if you don't have credit? Can you still hit me?" "Oh. That's what you said." Immediately, a sinister smile appeared at the corner of Bai Huang's mouth. I don't know why, but seeing Bai Huang's eerie smile, especially his gaze, Lu Lang's heart was so scared that it thumped for a moment. "Don't act recklessly, I'll call." "Can't I call yet?" Taking a deep breath, Lu Lang walked to the railing in the hallway and shouted out with a red face, "Bai Huang is my Lu Lang's father." After shouting, Lu Lang immediately fled to avoid being seen. In an instant, all the students who happened to pass by under the teaching building were stunned. What the hell? What did they hear just now? Is Bai Huang Lu Lang's father? For people who don't know Bai Huang and Lu Lang, they can't hear the meaning behind it at all, they only know it's strange. And the people who were in the same class as Bai Huang and Lu Lang laughed uncontrollably after hearing this, and tears were almost streaming down their faces. This can only be said that Bai Huang is young and promising. He has an extra son at such a young age. After finishing the fun, many students in the class bid farewell and left separately. For students, the best time is after school in the afternoon. After packing the books and placing them under the table, Bai Huang also left the classroom. He was not a boarding student and there was no need to stay at school. Walking along the school road leading to the school gate, Bai Huang was still hesitating for a moment. The system said he would check into a super luxury villa on the same day, but there was no exact time and no warning at all. It's impossible to create a villa for him to live in for no reason, right? Soon, Bai Huang was about to walk to the school gate and saw many students gathered in front, not knowing what they were doing. When Bai Huang walked there on the way, he saw several luxury sports cars parked at the school gate, with a row of bodyguards standing there, seemingly waiting for someone. "Get out of the way! Get out of the way! Get out of the way!" In the crowd, someone was shouting and speaking loudly in a very arrogant tone. As the person walked out of the crowd, it was clear that he was Lu Lang, who was in the same class as Bai Huang. "Young master." Seeing Lu Lang appear, the row of bodyguards at the door all bent down to greet him. Walking in front of a row of bodyguards, Lu Lang waved his hand and gestured for all the bodyguards to stand up. Immediately after, Lu Lang seemed to have known the location of Bai Huang for a long time, and shifted his gaze to look towards Bai Huang's side. "Yo, Bai Huang, I have a lot of seats here. Would you like to give you a ride?" Once you get in my car, you are my person. Lu Lang patted the supercar beside him, his mouth almost curling up to the sky. To put it bluntly, he has been secretly following Bai Huang from the bottom of the teaching building, naturally knowing his location in real time. He just wants to use this domineering way to let Bai Huang know what the difference in family background is. Let Bai Huang deeply realize that even if he is better or more talented than him in other aspects, he is not as wealthy, powerful, or influential as him. End of this chapter. Chapter 5. Accommodation Agreement and Marriage Letter. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. Chapter 5 Accommodation Agreement and Marriage Letter. Bai Huang didn't take it seriously and didn't pay attention to Lu Lang, the second-generation ancestor. At that time, he might as well wander around. Just as Bai Huang was preparing to leave. Boom. 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 Not far away, bursts of extremely loud car engine sounds rang out. At first glance, more than 10 luxury sports cars were driving towards us now. The sudden scene not only dazzled the students gathered at the school gate, but also left Lu Lang, the second-generation ancestor, stunned. The other party's row was not even a bit larger than him. Where is the power so arrogant? Later, more than 10 luxury sports cars came to a stop, and batches of bodyguards gradually got off the car. Finally, all of them walked towards the location where Bai Huang was. They seemed to have locked onto the white wilderness early in the morning, always so quickly and without any delay. "Excuse me, are you young Master Bai Huang?" the lead bodyguard respectfully asked. The presentation of this scene surprised everyone present except Bai Huang. "Are they here to find Bai Huang?" "We don't seem to know each other," Bai Huang said calmly. "The master of our Mu family wants to see you," the bodyguard replied. "What? Mu's family?" Lu Lang exclaimed in surprise not far away. "Be good, you should know that the Mu family is a top superpower in Wentian City. Its industries are spread across dozens of fields, especially the controllers of the Mu family, who are a generation of influential figures. If we have to compare it, for Lu Lang's own family, it is completely at the level of a younger brother in front of the Mu family." Upon hearing the word Mu Jia, all the students around were shocked. One reason is that everyone knows what status the Mu family represents in Wentian City. Secondly, which is the most important reason, many people know that Wentian High School has two major school flowers, and one of them is from the Mu family. In other words, if the master of the Mu family wants to meet Bai Huang, doesn't it mean that Bai Huang knows the school flower on the surface? Thinking of this, everyone's eyes turned red with envy. Jealousy. "Young Master Bai Huang, I don't know what you mean." "The master is waiting," the bodyguard said. Ding. Unlimited selection system triggered. Choose one, board Lu Lang's car to seek peaceful development. Reward. A personal trainee who has been practicing for 2.5 years, while also learning to sing, dance, rap, and basketball. Option 2, get in the car of the Mu family bodyguard and meet the Mu family master. Reward. Space chain, with a normal classroom-size dimension storage space that can store everything. "Okay, I'll go with you. I want to know why the master of your Mu family came to me for no reason." Bai Huang replied. "Okay, young Master Bai Huang, this way, please." The bodyguard moved aside and gestured for Bai Huang to get on the car. Immediately, as Bai Huang took a step forward, the bodyguard standing on either side would bow down to greet him, making him seem like a real young master. It's strange and uncomfortable. After walking more than 20 steps, Bai Huang casually sat inside the nearest Rolls-Royce Phantom. The bodyguard was responsible for closing the car door as soon as possible, which was extremely thoughtful. Ding. Congratulations to the host for completing option 2 and receiving the reward. Space chain. The next moment, in Bai Huang's hand, there was an additional chain engraved with many strange patterns. The chain is only 10 centimeters long, and Bai Huang took the opportunity to hang it at the top of his pants, which is where he usually ties his belt, temporarily as a decoration. Afterwards, more than 10 Rolls-Royce Phantoms raced away together, leaving only a group of surprised students at the school gate behind. Especially Lu Lang, he was really stunned and hasn't calmed down yet. That Bai Huang, who was usually bullied by him, has now boarded the car of the super-wealthy Mu family. If Bai Huang uses the power of the Mu family to retaliate against him, wouldn't his family end overnight? Thinking of this, Lu Lang's face turned ashen and he wished he could slap himself hard. He is so regretful now that his heart is blue. If he had known that Bai Huang still had such a relationship, even if he were killed, he wouldn't have dared to bully the real young master Bai Huang. Drop out. I want to drop out. Immediately. Immediately. Muttering to himself, Lu Lang, in a state of panic, kept muttering these few words. If he can't provoke Bai Huang, then he must be able to avoid it. Half an hour later. More than a dozen Rolls-Royce cars drove into an extremely spacious private villa area, surrounded by green areas, so you can easily see the luxurious villa located in the center at a glance. Bai Huang casually estimated that if he had not already purchased such a wide area, the annual rent would have been over 100 million yuan. However, Bai Huang also knows that the so-called rent is just a meaningless term. For the Mu family, how could they possibly rent a place to live and just spend money to buy it? After a while, the Rolls-Royce Phantom that Bai Huang was riding on stopped, and the bodyguard helped open the car door and respectfully signaled Bai Huang to get off. Young Master Bai Huang, the master is waiting inside. You can enter by yourself. It's not convenient for us to enter, said the lead bodyguard. Okay, Bai Huang answered in a timely manner. Then, without much thought, since everyone has come, there is no reason to back down. Walking through the cobblestone-covered ground, Bai Huang officially entered the luxurious villa. To be honest, as soon as he stepped into the villa lobby, Bai Huang couldn't help but marvel at the spectacular scene before him. Where has he been to such a grand place before? The house he used to live in may not be enough to buy a room here, right? In front of the hall, beneath a huge map of mountains, rivers, and grasslands, there stands an elderly man with white hair standing with his hands folded, exuding a majestic aura. Mr. Bai Huang took the initiative to say hello as he entered the house. Upon hearing the commotion behind him, the old man with white hair froze for a moment and quickly turned around. What sets the elderly apart from their imposing image is that, from their appearance, they undoubtedly belong to the category of extremely kind-hearted people, making them feel very close at first glance. Oh, I'm sorry, I was a bit engrossed in the picture just now and didn't notice anyone coming in, the old man said with a smile. It's okay, may I ask, is it you who is looking for me? In front of the elders, Bai Huang held the demeanor that a younger generation should have. Well, not bad. I'm looking for you, come and sit down first. The old man gestured for Bai Huang to come over to the sofa. Seeing this, Bai Huang also walked over. No, take a look at the things on this table first, and then you'll know why I came to you. The old man pointed to a document and an old piece of paper on the table. Just as Bai Huang was reaching out to get it, he suddenly froze in his movements. Because he saw that the surface of the document was clearly written with an occupancy agreement. And on that old piece of paper, there was actually a marriage letter written. End of this chapter. Chapter 6. Is indeed biological. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 6 is indeed biological confused. Except for confusion, Bai Huang had no emotions. What exactly is this situation? Seeing Bai Huang's puzzled expression, the old man smiled. He knew that Bai Huang would react this way, after all, the younger generation was unaware of this matter. Let me introduce myself first. My name is Mu Lin and I am the person in charge of the Mu family. The marriage certificate that is now placed in front of you was jointly signed by me and your parents. Your parents were old friends with me many years ago and had great kindness to me. Therefore, they have a marriage certificate and decide that in the future, if there are younger generations of the same age, they will become brothers if they are of the same sex, and couples if they are of the opposite sex. Of course, I'm not a stubborn person either. Although I have a marriage certificate, it still depends on what you young people mean. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention that both parties in this marriage letter are you and my granddaughter. With that girl's condition, it's not a disadvantage to be paired with anyone, but her personality is quite different. Don't worry, unless both of you young people are willing, no one can force you to force a marriage alliance. I am a very reasonable old man. Nowadays, Bai Huang is still in a very confused state. His parents have never told him about such a thing before. Why is it strange that a marriage letter suddenly appears? Hey, it's also an old man. I'm sorry to you. It's all because I'm old and forgetful. I've forgotten about my marriage letter over the years. Fortunately, I found it by chance today, so I didn't break my promise. Mulan apologized. For some unknown reason, he suddenly flipped through the cabinet from many years ago today and found the marriage certificate. After seeing the marriage letter, I immediately sent someone to pick up Bai Huang. Before Bai Huang could recover, Mu Lin handed over the accommodation agreement to him and said, "From today on, you can stay in this villa. The room is on the second floor, and you can choose which one you want. If it's not enough, you can choose an extra 10 or 8 rooms. Anyway, there are plenty of rooms." Upon hearing this, a series of messages flashed through Bai Huang's mind immediately. Be good, it turns out like this. I understand, he understands everything. Previously, he completed the selection of selling houses released by the system, so he will stay in a super luxury villa on the same day, accompanied by unexpected surprises. From the current situation, the ultra-luxury villa you are staying in is the villa of the Mu family. And the so-called unexpected surprise is the inexplicable addition of a fiancé to oneself, his mother, too. Well, if you're willing to stay, just sign the agreement and you'll have the right to own the room. Ding! Unlimited selection system triggered. Choose one and sign the check that IN agreement given by Mulan. Reward. Finger flicking skill, anything that pops out of the finger can have amazing power. Option 2, refuse to sign the check that IN agreement given by Mulan. Reward. Sleeping on the street every night, using the sky as the quilt and the ground as the bed, living a carefree life, looking at the virtual screen information in front of him that only he could see, Bai Huang felt a moment of peace in his heart. Oh, what a joke. As a determined young man, how could Bai Huang possibly succumb to such a situation? If he is a real man, he should choose option 2. At the next moment, Bai Huang signed the occupancy agreement. Oh my God, it smells so fragrant. Ding! Congratulations to the host for completing the selection 1 and receiving the reward. Finger flick skill. The system prompt sound echoed in Bai Huang's mind. Oh, by the way, Xiao Huang, I have a letter left by your parents in their early years, asking me to have the opportunity to pass it on to you in the future. Today is the right time. As he spoke, Mulan walked to the nearby cabinet and took out an envelope that looked a bit old, probably a bit old. Later, Mulan brushed off a little dust from the envelope and walked back. Here, I haven't opened this letter before. You can read it yourself. Feeling slightly confused, Bai Huang reached out to take the envelope. Strangely, if something happened earlier, his parents would just tell him, why did they insist on leaving an envelope with the old man? Is it difficult? What treasure of the Pirate King has he left for himself? Carefully opening the envelope, it read. Dear son, your mother and I have decided to tell you something we have been hiding for many years. Yes, your mother and I will take a step ahead and leave nothing for you. You should live a good life on your own. Don't miss us too much. After all, the protagonists of every youth novel have their own anti-kinship attributes. For the rest of your life, household chores are yours, going to school is yours, making money is yours, everything is yours. In addition, the protagonist of every youth novel also has a fiancé AE, so we have arranged one for you. I'm about the same age as you, remember to get along well. We by family are all good men, don't bully them, otherwise we'll wait for your mother and I to daydream for you. Come on, child. My parents believe that you can live a good life on your own. We are really dead, don't worry. Father and mother's pen. Ah. Touching his forehead, Bai Huang really wanted to cry and laugh. This tone didn't run away, it was his biological parents. In earlier years, Bai Huang had doubted many times whether he was actually their biological child. It's really killing my son, it's not worth it. Well, it was indeed a handwritten letter from your parents, so you should be able to believe in the authenticity of the engagement, Mulan smiled kindly. How to put it, although it was just the first time we met, the more he looked at Bai Huang, the more he found it pleasing. Mu Lin doesn't care about his family background. If he wants money, he wants power, and he wants power. He wants everything, just a good son. Law. The only regret is that Bai Huang's level of handsomeness is only 7 or 8 points higher than when he was young, which can barely be considered qualified. It can't be too strict, can it? This is really my parents' letter, and only they will cheat me like this. Bai Huang had no choice but to roast. It's okay, the Mu family will be your support in the future, and you can tell me anything about it with the old man, said Mu Lin, holding on to his grandfather's position. What's that, old man? The engagement matter is not just a child's play. Leaving aside my situation, your granddaughter probably doesn't know, so neither I nor you can make any decisions without authorization. Bai Huang said solemnly. So far, Bai Huang has never seen Mu Lin's granddaughter. How could he possibly agree to the marriage agreement? This is also unfair to the woman. Speaking of which, Bai Huang is also curious about what kind of person would be the granddaughter of an old man like Mu Lin, who has a great family demeanor. Upon hearing this, Mulan nodded and greatly appreciated Bai Huang's character. If someone else were to be replaced, they would definitely have to be shameless and enter the Mu family. After all, this is an opportunity for fish to leap over the dragon's gate, and I don't know how many people in the world want this opportunity. In that case, let's wait for my granddaughter to come back first. After she comes back, I will speak up about the marriage letter in front of you and let the two of you decide on the spot. After pondering, Mulan said the best solution. Master, Miss has returned. At this moment, a bodyguard is passing messages at the door. End of this chapter. Chapter 7. School Flower Goddess Mu Qinlian. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. Chapter 7. School Flower Goddess Mu Qinlian, hahaha, what a coincidence. Indeed, heaven is also helping to arrange this marriage. Mu Lin was very happy. In no time, a young girl slowly walked in at the entrance of the villa. When he saw that girl for the first time, Bai Huang had to admit that she was definitely a beauty he had never seen in his life. Whether in terms of appearance, physique, or temperament, it directly gives people a sense of superiority over everything else. Beauty. It's really incredibly beautiful. However, beneath the stunning appearance of the girl, what is most noteworthy is undoubtedly her expressionless state, which is very cold. Granddaughter, come over here for a moment. Grandpa has something important to tell you, Mulan waved his hand and greeted. Upon hearing this, the girl who had originally planned to go upstairs stopped moving and then calmly sat down on the sofa next to her grandfather. As for Bai Huang across from her, she naturally saw it as soon as she entered the door. But it's not her business. Granddaughter, let me introduce you to the young man next to me named Bai Huang, who is the child of an old friend of my grandfather. Mu Lin introduced him. Nodding, the girl signaled that she had heard it and did not intend to speak. After introducing Bai Huang, Mu Lin reached out to his granddaughter and introduced him to her. Xiao Huang, this is my granddaughter Mu Qianlian, who is about the same age as you. Oh, so her name is Mu Qianlian. Bai Huang appeared very calm. The next time, Bai Huang was shocked and suddenly realized that he seemed to have lost something. No, he definitely had heard of the name Mu Qianlian before, otherwise he wouldn't have had an inexplicable sense of familiarity. Where on earth have you heard of it? At this moment, Mu Lin said, Xiao Huang, you should be studying at Wentian High School now. My granddaughter is also a student at Wentian High School, maybe you have seen her before. She's also from Wentian High School. In surprise, Bai Huang glanced at Mu Qianlian. Hey! Wait! I remember it now. If I remember correctly, one of the two school flower goddesses at Wentian High School is incredibly talented and has a cold and aloof personality, as if her name is Mu. Mu-o. Yes. Mu Qianlian. One of the two school flower goddesses of Wentian High School is called Mu Qianlian, that's right. Thinking of this, Bai Huang was momentarily taken aback. Is it the home of the school flower goddess Mu Qianlian who will live with him in the future? And the woman mentioned in the engagement is the school flower goddess Mu Qianlian. This kind of variety is too unexpected. Xiao Huang, are you feeling unwell? Why does your face look a bit strange? Mu Lin, who noticed something was wrong, asked. Oh, it's okay. I was a bit distracted just now, sorry. Bai Huang immediately cleared his mind. At this moment, Mu Qianlian, who was sitting across from her, flipped through her bag and took out a mini cardboard and colored pen from it. Holding a colored pen, Mu Qianlian's delicate jade hands danced on the mini cardboard, unsure of what to do. After a while, Mu Qianlian picked up the mini cardboard in her hand, allowing others to see the content on it. It says, Grandpa, is there anything else? If not, I'll go upstairs and rest first. Bai Huang subconsciously read the words on the mini cardboard in his heart. But this immediately surprised Bai Huang. Why did Mu Qianlian use cardboard to transmit information? Suddenly, Bai Huang remembered some of the rumors he had heard before. That is to say, Mu Qianlian never spoke to anyone at school, to the extent that everyone privately referred to her as the goddess of icebergs, and there were also some speculations about whether Mu Qianlian was mute. Is it difficult? Mu Qianlian really can't speak. Wait a moment, granddaughter. Grandpa has something important to say, I'll take up a bit of your time for now. At the moment when Bai Huang was surprised alone, the voice of the old man Mulin rang out. Then, Mu Qianlian wiped off the words on the mini cardboard and rewrote them before lifting them up again. What's up? It was written on the cardboard. By the way, the mini cardboard in Mu Qianlian's hand is electronically intelligent and can be easily wiped off with just a touch, making it reusable. Then, without leaving a trace, Mr. Mulin immediately handed the wedding letter on the table to Mu Qianlian. This marriage letter was made between me and Xiao Huang's parents in our early years. The engagement was between Xiao Huang and you, both of whom were not yet born at that time. But don't worry, Grandpa is not stubborn and won't force you two young people to come together. It won't benefit either of you. So, the premise for this marriage letter to be effective is that you and Xiao Huang are willing to accompany each other. If they really can't merge, then let it go. After listening, Mu Qianlian quickly wrote down the new font. Why hasn't Grandpa mentioned it before? Upon seeing the cardboard question, Mu Lin awkwardly coughed twice and said, Ahem, it's all due to Grandpa's old age and bad memory. It was only today that he suddenly saw the wedding letter again. Let's talk about what you two young people think. Disagree, Mu Qianlian wrote on the cardboard. As a grandfather, Mu Lin was not surprised by his granddaughter's response. If he agreed so easily, Mu Qianlian would not be Mu Qianlian anymore. So, why did he just let Bai Huang stay at home? It was all for the sake of planning at this moment. Young people, more contact can generate sparks. Winter has arrived, can spring still be far behind? Then, Mulin looked at Bai Huang and said, Xiao Huang, what do you think? At this moment, Mu Qianlian's gaze also fell on Bai Huan, her gaze as if looking at a stranger, devoid of any emotion. Not right. Based on the current situation, Bai Huang and Mu Qianlian were strangers who had just met. It is obvious that Mu Qianlian is also waiting for a response from Bai Huang. If Bai Huang agrees, she will directly define him as an eternal stranger. Because once Bai Huang agrees, that's the type of person she hates the most. Old man, I still mean what I used to mean, forceful twists are not sweet, Bai Huang calmly replied. Although Bai Huang noticed Mu Qianlian's gaze, the reason why he said this was entirely out of his true intention and had nothing to do with Mu Qianlian. Okay, since both of you young people have said so, I'll put away this marriage certificate for now, with a validity period of 3 months. If one of you confirms in 3 months that you won't be with each other, I will give him the marriage certificate and have him tear it up. If you both decide to go hand in hand, I will also take out this marriage letter, because you were originally together because of it. Mulan preached. End of this chapter. Chapter 8. Best Assist. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 8 Best Assist. After listening to what her grandfather said, Mu Qianlian didn't have any special reaction, nor did she have any intention of continuing to entangle. The matter has been made very clear, as long as either party is unwilling, they can tear up the marriage certificate at any time. In Mu Qianlian's view, this is a situation where a marriage certificate completely does not exist. Then, Mu Qianlian quickly wrote a few words on the cardboard, which read, "Grandpa, I'll go make dinner first." After paying her respects, Mu Qianlian walked alone to the kitchen. So, the villa hall is left with only Bai Huang and Mu Lin, a young and old couple. Xiao Huang, look forward to it. My granddaughter's craftsmanship is not just a boast. I can guarantee that she is definitely better than the chefs at top 5-star restaurants, said Mulin with a smile. Really, then I will taste it well later, Bai Huang replied. However, Bai Huang's current attention has not been focused on this point, and he is still wondering why Mu Qianlian has been silent, which is an incomprehensible mystery. After thinking for a moment, Bai Huang finally decided to ask Mu Lin, who must be clear about the specific situation. Old man, there's a question, I don't know if I should ask it or not. Bai Huang looked directly at Mu Lin. Murin, who had extensive experience, also understood very well. He guessed what Bai Huang wanted to ask. After all, this was the most normal thing. Are you asking, why is Xiaoyan that girl not talking? Mulin said. Just as he finished speaking, Mu Lin's eyes became more profound, as if recalling some bad past. Bai Huang nodded. For a long time, until he let out a long sigh, Murin gradually regained his composure. Xiao Huang, if possible, I hope you don't ask about this matter. Even as a grandfather, I haven't heard that girl talk for many years. According to the doctor, perhaps Xiaoyan will never be able to speak again, because there is no medicine in this world that can cure her illness. Also, don't mention this matter in front of that girl Xiaoyan, otherwise she will look at you with the most indifferent gaze. No matter who it is, there will always be taboos in their hearts that cannot be touched, and being unable to speak is Xiaoyan's only taboo. Mu Lin spoke in an extremely serious tone, telling Bai Huang truthfully that such things should not be mentioned in front of Mu Qianlian. Upon hearing this, Bai Huang silently nodded. Mr. Mulin has already spoken to this point, which is definitely not mixed with any joking intent. Yes, everyone has taboos that cannot be touched. If someone insists on touching someone else's taboos due to their own curiosity, they are extremely foolish and lacking. Later on, Bai Huang and Mu Lin chatted in the hall. Bai Huang listened to Mu Lin talk about some things about his parents from earlier years. It turned out that at first, Bai Huang's parents did not give him the name Bai Huang, but instead ordered white rice. The meaning is to have enough to eat for a lifetime without worrying. Hey, his parents think he will suffer so much in the future. It's really his mother. At around 7 o'clock in the evening, Mu Qianlian walked out of the kitchen and called Mu Lin and Bai Huang to eat with the words written on the cardboard. Of course, Bai Huang is a byword. Entering the kitchen and sitting at the dining table, Bai Huang fell into silence for a moment. Braised eggplant with mushroom and meat sauce, fish-flavored lotus root balls, colored chicken with black pepper, stir-fried shrimp, crab roe tofu, fish head tofu soup. At first glance, there were more than 10 dishes on the table, all of which were full of color, aroma, and flavor. Where is dinner at home? Is it eating at a 5-star restaurant? Xiao Huang, don't be polite. Everyone is their own person, use chopsticks. Worried that Bai Huang would feel embarrassed to eat outside, Mu Lin spoke up. Oh, good. Without much affectation, Bai Huang tried a few dishes that were closer to him. After tasting, Bai Arai really had to shake his head to show his mood. Why, it's not to my taste? Mu Lin asked. No, it's just that this dish is so delicious. I've never had such a delicious dish before, Bai Huang exclaimed directly. When I think of the dishes I cooked, Bai Huang can't help but blush at his old face. What kind of crap are they? They can't be eaten. Haha, that's good. I thought you couldn't get used to it. Mu Linla couldn't help but chuckle. Okay, as long as my granddaughter's skills catch Bai Huang's stomach, everything will be easy to say from now on. At this moment, while eating vegetables, Bai Huang secretly sighed at a very realistic thing. Mu Qianlian has an unparalleled beauty, unparalleled family background, and unparalleled talent, which is already a situation that makes people envious to the point of being unbeatable. But now there is another unbeatable culinary skill. Even if the word perfect is paired with Mu Qianlian, it may not be enough. Mu Qianlian lowered her head and silently ate her meal, without any movement, as if everything around her had nothing to do with her. After dinner, Mu Qianlian originally planned to go back to her room to read a book, and she has always had this habit. However, this time, Mu Lin left Mu Qianlian in the hall. If it were just a normal situation, Murin would naturally not be able to keep Mu Qianlian. Precisely because Murin himself was also aware of this, he found an excuse to say that his body was a bit uncomfortable. In this way, his granddaughter will obediently stay in the hall to take care of herself. The only reason Mu Lin did this is to hope that his granddaughter can have more contact with Bai Huang. Young people, the probability of falling in love over time is quite high. Mu Lin knows he can't do anything when he gets old, but he can still add some fire and firewood. Why don't we have to get the best assist? It was not until almost 10 o'clock in the evening that Mu Lin returned to his room on the first floor and asked his granddaughter to take Bai Huang to the second floor to choose a room to live in. At first, Mu Qianlian did not agree to let Bai Huang live on the second floor. However, she could not reverse her grandfather's wishes and could only give up in the end. On the corridor of the second floor of the villa, Bai Huang followed behind Mu Qianlian, only a few tens of centimeters apart, so much so that Bai Huang could always smell the fragrance of Mu Qianlian's body behind him. It seems like a gardenia flower. There is a strange phenomenon that since she went up to the second floor, Mu Qianlian has looked at many rooms, but for some reason, many things suddenly appeared in those rooms, causing her to be unable to move in for a while. Mu Qianlian is quite strange. Even though she used to have empty rooms, she inexplicably piled up things without her grandfather notifying her. Or is this simply intentional by her grandfather? My grandfather has already returned to the room to rest, and she is not good enough to ask now. She can only continue to search and see which room can accommodate people. In the end, in the second to last room at the edge, Mu Qianlian found an empty room. From this, she directly understood one thing. My grandfather did indeed do it intentionally, because the only vacant room on the second floor now is next door to her own room. End of this chapter. Chapter 9. Laws and Regulations. Chapter 3. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 9. Laws and Regulations. Chapter 3. Taking out her phone, Mu Qianlian sent a message to her grandfather. The content of the information is very simple, just a few direct words. Old man, may I ask, am I your granddaughter? This is the content of the information. And I don't know if Mullen had been watching his phone for a long time. Just a few seconds after Mullen sent the message, he replied. The message replied, definitely dear, rest assured. Her expression became dull for a moment, and Mu Qianlian put away her phone. This time, she was too young and accidentally fell into the pit dug by her grandfather. Then, Mu Qianlian quickly wrote some words on cardboard for Bai Huang to read. Is this the only available room? It was written on the cardboard. Okay, Bai Huang replied. Although he was an outsider, Bai Huang also noticed some tricks to some extent. It seems that the old man did not waste his time trying to reconcile himself with Mu Qianlian privately. Moreover, this was only the first day, so it was easy to speculate that the old man had already calculated everything during the gap between being brought to the Mu family by the bodyguard. Sure enough, ginger is still old and spicy. Upon receiving confirmation from Bai Huang, Mu Qianlian walked into the room first to see if there were any missing daily necessities, at least pillows and blankets. Okay, she's taking it to the point. Everything in the room has already been arranged, and she should have known from the beginning that her grandfather is always shrewd in handling things and won't forget such small things. Entering the room, Bai Huang glanced casually. The mansion is indeed a mansion, and the area of this room is much larger than that of a classroom. Living alone is not to mention how spacious it is. At this moment, Mu Qianlian turned around and walked outside. She had already completed her task. However, as she approached the door, Mu Qianlian seemed to have suddenly thought of something and steadied herself. Walking back into the room, Mu Qianlian found a piece of white paper and then started writing with her fingers dancing. After a while, Mu Qianlian turned around and faced Bai Huang head-on, gesturing for him to look at the white paper in his hand. Reaching out to take it, I saw 3 regulations prominently written on the white paper. First of all, don't come knocking on my door if there's nothing else, unless there's a concern for your life. Secondly, even if there is a concern for my life, I may not be able to open the door, so when this happens, you can call the emergency hotline yourself. Thirdly, if possible, come out and walk less in the middle of the night because I like to come out and eat something in the middle of the night. If someone suddenly appears, I will be scared. Above are the 3 chapters of the Constitution. Due to the large font size of the regulations, Mu Qianlian couldn't write on her own smart cardboard, so she found a blank piece of paper to write on. Immediately, without waiting for Bai Huang to express anything, Mu Qianlian left the room on her own and casually closed the door. For so many years, she has been living on the 2nd floor herself, and now there is suddenly an extra person, who is also of the opposite sex. She needs some time to adapt. Especially in the middle of the night, if you see a person of the opposite sex at home in a daze, with her reflex curve, you must treat them as thieves and beat them up. Inside the room. Now there is only Bai Huang left. When I came in earlier, I didn't look much. Now, upon closer inspection, I found that even clothes were ready in the wardrobe, and there was nothing missing, just like returning to my own home. I went into the bathroom to take a shower and then lay in bed pondering what had happened in the past 2 days. Without realizing it, Bai Huang fell asleep. There was nothing to say overnight. At dawn the next day. At around 7 o'clock in the morning, Bai Huang, who had already finished washing up, left the room and had to go to school for class today Thursday. Originally, Bai Huang planned to wake up Mu Qianlian nearby, but after thinking about the regulations Mu Qianlian wrote yesterday, he didn't go and went downstairs. What flavor is so fragrant? Walking to the staircase, Bai Huang was surprised. He had just woken up and smelled such a fragrant smell. Who could bear it? At this moment, Mr. Mullen walked out of the kitchen. Yo, you're awake now, so I won't have to call you. Hurry down and have breakfast, it's just finished. Mullen shouted at the staircase where Bai Huang was. Okay, Bai Huang quickly went downstairs. When I went into the kitchen, I saw Mu Qianlian holding several bowls of breakfast congee, which was fresh shrimp and mushroom congee. What follows is a picture of an old man and two young people drinking congee around the table. As for Bai Huang, because he was the only one at home, the experience of having breakfast with others like this has really been a long time gone. Xiao Huang, Xiaoyan, when you two go to school together, I will send someone to take you there, said Mulan. Upon hearing this, Mu Qianlian seemed to have no reaction at all, neither opposing nor agreeing. In short, she accepted her grandfather's decision or was too lazy to refute it. Okay. Nodding in response, Bai Huang had no other objections. If he hitchhiked by himself, he would likely be late, and the designated person would be killed by the homeroom teacher. After more than 10 minutes, after breakfast, Bai Huang and Mu Qianlian got into their own driver's car and headed to Wentian High School, arranged by Mu Lin. Driving rapidly all the way, the atmosphere inside the car was a bit eerie. Mu Qianlian's gaze remained outside the car window, never looking back at Bai Huang. At a location not far from Wentian High School, the driver stopped the car. "Miss, it's time for you," said the driver sitting in the front row. Then, taking her backpack, Mu Qianlian got off the car on her own and chose to continue walking. "Master Bai Huang, don't mind. Miss usually gets off here and has nothing to do with you," the driver explained. Mu Qianlian's behavior can easily lead people to misunderstand that she is disliking Bai Huang, but the truth is not that Mu Qianlian used to get off here and didn't want to be too ostentatious and park her car at the school gate. "Oh, I know now, then I'll get off the car first. It's been tough." After speaking, Bai Huang got off the car. At present it is not far from Wentian High School, and Bai Huang does not want to get off at the school gate in a Maserati car, otherwise he will definitely become the focus of public opinion, which is not his preferred lifestyle. 5 or 6 minutes later, Bai Huang and Mu Qianlian entered Wentian High School one after another, only 5 or 6 meters apart. Obviously, it is easy to see that since Mu Qianlian approached Wentian High School, countless students had their eyes parked on her by the roadside. This can be said to be an extremely ordinary phenomenon. As one of the two school flower goddesses of Wentian High School, influence has never been a joke. However, besides Mu Qianlian, Bai Huang is undoubtedly the biggest focus. You should know that Bai Huang is a few meters behind Mu Qianlian at this moment. If it were for normal times, the big guy would definitely see Bai Huang as a stalker, that is, a stalker of Mu Qianlian. But after some things happened after school yesterday afternoon, everyone couldn't think that way anymore. End of this chapter. Chapter 10. Poetry Competition. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 10 Poetry Competition. Yesterday afternoon after school, many people saw Bai Huang getting into the Mu family's car at the school gate. This means that Bai Huang and Mu Qianlian really know each other. In this situation, what is the meaning of being a stalker? Only silently envy Bai Huang's situation. Mu Qianlian, who was already accustomed to the phenomenon of constantly receiving attention, didn't have any special reaction and continued walking silently. At a fork in the school road, due to the different directions of the campuses of Bai Huang and Mu Qianlian, the main road faces the sky on either side. Furthermore, there was no communication between the two along the way, and they were even strangers. After a short period of time, Bai Huang entered his own class. As soon as Ku entered, Bai Huang immediately realized that everyone in the class was secretly staring at him, as if there was something on his face. Without paying much attention for a moment, Bai Huang sat in his seat. Boom! Less than a second after sitting down, many classmates rushed to Bai Huang's side. "Bai Huang, I heard you got into the Mu family's car yesterday. Do you know Mu Qianlian?" Yes, this matter is now known to many people in the whole school, and it has been spread throughout various class groups. You're really secretive, kid. You even know Mu Qianlian, the school belle. I'm so envious. Brother Huang, everyone is in the same class. Can you help me get the signature of a goddess? Please. Everyone is speaking around the mysterious relationship between Bai Huang and Mu Qianlian, with every word you say. Sorry, I'm not familiar with Mu Qianlian. There's nothing I can help you with, Bai Huang said calmly as he read his own book. Although he currently lives in the Mu family, it is true that his relationship with Mu Qianlian is not familiar. Upon hearing what Bai Huang said, it was obvious that everyone didn't believe it very much. If they were not familiar with Mu Qianlian, how could the people of the Mu family have put up such a big face to greet them yesterday afternoon? Originally, everyone intended to continue asking, but seeing Bai Huang's cold expression, they could only temporarily swallow their doubts back into their stomachs. They couldn't seem too annoying. The following period is the early reading stage of the school, which lasts until 8 o'clock. The first few classes in the morning were math and English, which were subjects that Bai Huang was not very interested in. Previously, he was mostly secretly reading comic books. Of course, it's still the same today. It wasn't until the classroom break before the last class that Bai Huang regained some energy, because it would be Chinese class later. Among all the teachers, the student in the class who likes Li Yu the most is the homeroom teacher, while the other one is the Chinese teacher Su Qian. Su Qian also graduated from a graduate school, very young and from a scholarly family. She has a unique style in every lecture, which greatly enhances the enthusiasm of students in Chinese language classes. Ringing bells. The class bell rings. Not long after, there was a faint sound of footsteps outside the classroom. After 3 years of high school, everyone can tell from the amplitude of footsteps that it is the Chinese teacher Su Qian who has arrived. 5 or 6 seconds later, Su Qian walked into the classroom holding a few materials. Compared to Li Yu's image as an extinct nun, Su Qian is more like a neighboring elder sister, with a gentle personality and likes to chat and joke with students, without any airs. Quickly scanning the class, Su Qian noticed that a seat was empty. She immediately asked, "Why isn't Lu Lang there?" "Teacher, I heard that Lu Lang seemed to drop out of school overnight last night," a classmate replied. Dropped out. Is that so? I haven't received any news yet." Su Qian was surprised for a moment. It's class time now, and Su Qian doesn't have time to verify this matter at the moment. Currently, the above classes are the main focus. Classmates, today in this class, the teacher is not going to talk about the content in the textbook, but rather intends to chat with everyone. Recently, the exam has been tense, and I hope everyone can ease their mood. Su Qian smiled sweetly. Suddenly, Su Qian spoke these words, and everyone in the class sat up straight, their interest immediately aroused. Most of the other teachers just stick to their textbooks, except for Li Yu and Su Qian, who have many tricks and are highly sought after by students. Seeing everyone so interested, Su Qian, as a teacher, was naturally very happy and immediately asked everyone, what anime did everyone like to watch when they were young? The Adventures of the Ever-Changing Beast of Luo Luo. Thunder Slays in Half a Month. Shocking Waves Kill. The Legend of Rainbow Cat and Blue Rabbit 7 Heroes. Do you have a combination of 7 swords? I've been collecting those toy swords since I was a child. Doraemon. When I was a child, I really wanted a Doraemon. I also really want it now. You guys are so strange, we girls are all looking at the beautiful girl warrior and the ever-changing cherry blossom. Everyone spoke one after another, talking incessantly, and looking at the momentum, they almost started to work, in order to elect the hottest anime of their childhood. After a while, Su Qian gestured for everyone to temporarily quiet down before asking, "So, what kind of game did you like to play when you were a child or now?" Sol Doluo. I have cleared the level. Bubble Hall, this is the youth of boys. Well, is blowing a skirt a part of it? League of Legends, said a single player surnamed Lee. Speaking of gaming, almost all boys are speaking, while girls are curious and listening. As a teacher, Su Qian is also very patient in listening to her students talk. This is the best opportunity for her to get to know her students and achieve a pleasant and relaxed atmosphere to adapt. As we chatted, half of the class quietly passed away in an extremely happy situation. Alright, there are about 20 minutes left before school ends. We talked a lot in the first half of the class, so now the teacher is preparing to hold a poetry competition on the spot. Su Qian smiled. A poetry competition. What are the rules? Many students expressed curiosity. The rule is very simple. Give everyone 10 minutes to think about poetry, which can be poetry, lyrics, original works, or excerpts, with no word limit. The last 10 minutes are used to showcase the works of each student. If anyone wins first place, they can put their name on the class honor list. Su Qian explained. The class honor list she mentioned is a list hanging next to the door, where outstanding people in the class can make it as encouragement. This news came out, and the big guy quickly began to use his brain. This is a good opportunity, anyone has a chance to be on the list. At this moment, looking at the entire audience, only Bai Huang was more casual. He had no desire to win, but he was just on the list. Ding! Unlimited selection system triggered. Choose one, participate in Su Qian's poetry competition and win first place. Reward. Current body strength increases by 5 times, option 2, not participating in Su Qian's poetry competition, the only salted fish in the class. Reward. Increase body size by 10 centimeters anywhere, such as height, etc. End of this chapter.